Greetings, all. I am here to bring you another one. Today, I'm going to go through the setup and configuration of integrating Apple Business Manager with Microsoft 365. What that'll give you is allowing your Microsoft 365 accounts and users to sign into Microsoft 365 resources and Apple resources like Apple Business Manager, Apple ID. They will be able to they will be able to log into any Apple resource and Microsoft 365. In addition, I will also show you how to set up provisioning so that anytime an account is created in Apple Business Manager, it will automatically get created in, I said that all wrong. For any account that gets created in Microsoft 365 will automatically get created in Apple Business Manager. If you don't set up provisioning, then you can simply create the account in Apple Business Manager. But what better way to do it than just set up automation? So let's get right into it. Okay, now let's start by adding the domain to Microsoft 365 before I add it to Apple Business Manager. All right, I'm gonna pull up Microsoft 365. And then I'm gonna go ahead to the area where I need to add additional domains. And that will be up under settings, domains. Once there, go ahead and click add domain. And here I'm going to put the name of the domain I'm going to use, and in this case it's going to be Intune Experts with an S. Go ahead and click use domain. And go ahead and click verify. I believe my domain is being hosted by a service that Microsoft knows of. And in most cases, kind of like GoDaddy. Go ahead and log in here. And this will work the same as if you had GoDaddy. I happen to be using a sub company of GoDaddy. And then click connect. Go ahead and click verify. What happened? And then click connect like I just did. What's going on there? There we go. It's starting to move now. And it's basically saying, how do I want to connect my domain? So we're going to use a text record. Actually, I'm going to let Microsoft go ahead and do their thing. Click next. I am actually not at the text record part yet. This is for the Exchange. I am not going to enable Skype or device management, but I am going to set up domain key identified mail. Add records. Click connect. Domain is set up. Was that easy? Yeah, it was cool. Now I'm going to go to Apple Business Manager and add the domain there. And inside of Apple Business Manager, they actually call it linking the domain. But that's what we're going to do. Now I want to call out something before we get a little bit too far. You cannot use a global administrator account to actually be federated into your Microsoft resources. So you're going to have to use a global administrator account to set up the integration and federation, but you can actually use that global admin account to actually use the service or be federated. So if you're actually using the service, then you're going to need two accounts, an admin account, global admin, and a regular account, user account. Okay, now that I'm in Apple Business Manager, I'm going to go down here to click on my name, preferences, and then managed IDs. Now, since I have already set up federation, I am simply going through all the necessary steps so that you can set it up. But in my case, I am just adding a new federated domain, but the steps are the same. So You wouldn't have this connected, but I do because it's already set up. You're going to go down here and add a domain. Click add after you type it in there. And then as you can see, it will pop in here pretty soon. There you go. And then you can see it's waiting. Now at this point, I can click verify to get the code so that I can create the text record to verify that I own this domain. Okay, I can go ahead and close this now. Now I am going to go to my DNS manager. Okay, now that I'm over here in DNS, I can go ahead and click add new record. Select the type would be text. Use the @ symbol here. Put the value that you copied from Apple Business Manager and then select save. Now we're going to wait a few minutes and then we're going to go back to Apple Business Manager and verify. Okay, now we're back in Apple Business Manager. We're going to go ahead and refresh the page first. Then come down to the newly added domain, click verify, and then verify again. And as you can see, the domain is now verified. Now at this point, we want to go ahead and turn on sign in with Microsoft Entra ID. Now, before I do the turn on sign in with Microsoft Entra ID, I have to have a global account in that domain. So I'm going to create an account in the domain that I just created and link to Apple Business Manager. And we're going to call this one, I'm going to call this one Federation account. Intune experts. Federation at intuneexperts.com. Automatically create password. No, I'm gonna give it a password now. And send the password to an admin account. Required to use to change the password. No. And then I'm gonna go ahead and click next. Give it a license. And the license I need to give it is one of these guys right here. And I'm going to make it a global administrator. And click finish. Now that's that. Go ahead and click close. Now I'm going to flip back over here to Apple Business Manager and go ahead and log in with that account. And of course, they want me to set up MFA.
Scan the QR code. Go ahead and select next so it can prompt me for the new MFA. Select next. Add a phone number. Click next to complete it and click done. Federating domain, I assume.
Domain is federated. Click continue. Okay, I have clicked continue, but I'm not sure why I won't just go ahead and go. That must be a little fluke. So we're going to refresh the page and go ahead and click manage to see what it looked like. And it still look verified. It looks signed in, and it's allow users to sign into your services. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click sign in with a Microsoft Entra ID. So we're basically turning on Federation. Now that Federation is turned on for the new domain that I added, let's create an account with that domain in Apple Business Manager. Slide over here to users, click add, and we're just going to call it add an email address. The rest of this information is optional, and I'm going to go ahead and click save. Now that I have that Federation account, which is actually using the new federated domain, I'm going to first attempt to log in with it on the Microsoft side, and then attempt to log in with it on the Apple Business Manager side. Or let's just say, let's use Apple ID. That's more of a user, from a user's perspective. So I'm going to create a new private tab and see if I can log in with it. This should be the easy part. Okay, I know what I'm doing wrong. I have to the best way to do this is to go portal.azure.com. Then I'm sure I'm logging into an organizational portal instead of a consumer portal. Okay, what am I doing wrong? I must have been typing it wrong. That's it. I just must have been typing it wrong. Okay, still typing the password wrong. There we go. MFA. We're all in order now. Select yes. All right, as you can see, I logged in with the account that I just created. Okay. So now let's go to appleid.apple.com. We should be able to log in here with the same Microsoft 365 organization ID. Still typing the password wrong. MFA, acknowledge. Voila. And there you have it. Federation set up with Microsoft 365 and Apple Business Manager. Now that I have Federation set up, any user in Microsoft 365 that is configured with an account in both sides can log into both resources with the same account. Okay, now let's say you want this federation and integration to automatically create the accounts that are created in Microsoft 365. So what you can do is set up Microsoft Entra Connect Sync, and that will facilitate, utilizing a group, facilitate any account that's created in that group will automatically get created as an account in Apple Business Manager. When that account gets created in Apple Business Manager, those accounts are set with the role of staff. So let's go through the steps. All right, now I'm going to show you the setup and configuration for setting up automatic provisioning of accounts in Microsoft 365 to be provisioned and created in Apple Business Manager. So we're going to start out by going in Apple Business Manager, click on your name down below on the left, then click Preferences, then click Managed Apple IDs. Now, up under Directory Sync, you want to access Microsoft Entra Connect Sync, and then click Setup. Now, once you've clicked Setup, I've already created a token here. So I already have this token in hand, but if this token wasn't here, what I would do was click Client Secret. It would create one for me. I will copy it and then use it in the next configuration. So since I don't need two, I'm gonna get rid of the one I just created and use the one that I created already. And then I'm going to go to Entra ID side of things. Now I'm here in Azure. Well, yeah, Azure. And then I'm going to Entra ID Connect. Entra ID, not Connect. Oh, it's moving kind of slow. What is that? There we go. Got the pace, man. This must have been the first time using this browser. I did clear cache. Now let's configure provisioning in the Apple Business Manager. So, but that provisioning will be done in Microsoft 365. So I'm going to go to Enterprise Applications, sort Apple Business Manager. Here I'm going to go to Users and Groups, confirm my account and group. Now I'm going to go to Provisioning and click on Provisioning again. And at this point, I need to get the tenant URL. So I will go back to Apple Business Manager. For the domain I added, click Manage. Excuse me. Up here, up under Microsoft Entra Connect Sync, click Setup. Then copy the tenant URL, go back to Entra ID, and paste the tenant URL. Go copy and pick up your hash value that you got, which is the client secret, and paste that into the secret token area. Mapping should be done. Settings will allow you to set an account to receive notifications on the failures. So I'm going to use my admin account. And prevent accidental deletions. Up to 5 accounts. Don't want to get rid of no accounts on an accident. Provisioning status is on. Don't need that. And then click Save. That should work. There you go. Now that that is provisioning, I can go back to the overview and initial cycle not started, so I'm gonna click refresh. I'm gonna refresh the whole browser. And I'm gonna stop, no, I'm gonna restart provisioning. Restarting provisioning seems successful. I would say that it's doing something, and I'm gonna give it a few minutes and see if I get some logs pretty soon. Well, let's take a look right now. None yet. So let's give it a few minutes and we should have some logs here soon. Okay, it looked like it has finished. So let's take a look at the logs that I was referring to earlier. And we have some good clean logs. It looked like it validated and created the 3 accounts that was in that group. So let's go ahead and test logging into resources. Now, before I actually run that test, I have one more thing to do in Apple Business Manager. Flip over to Apple Business Manager. And what was the one thing I needed to do? Oh yeah, for the domain that I added, I need to enable users to log into Apple services with that, with the organization account, and that is done with this option here. Go ahead and click that. Turn it on federation. It's actually turning it on for one account, but it will be on for any additional accounts that get in there. Okay, that's done. Now let's go ahead and test logging in, and we're going to go ahead and try a new browser. Open it in private, and I'll go with portal.azure.com. Now I gotta remember to account credentials. And now we're logging into Microsoft 365, and in this case, Azure, with the new domain, with the new account created with the new domain. And then we're going to use that same account to log into an Apple resource to validate that we have everything set up correctly. Go ahead and enter. Let's see if I remember the password. Okay, I don't. So let's try that again. I forgot the password. That's interesting. But I didn't. All right, click next. Click next to get the QR code. Scan the QR code. Click next to get the MFA prompt. Acknowledge it. Click next to complete the process. Add a phone number. Receive a code. Click next. And add the code that I get via text. 836463. 836463. Click next. Verification complete, MFA setup. Go ahead and click next, then click done. Now, it wants me to create a new password, which I did not want to change my password, but I'm gonna go ahead and do so. Password changed. Successfully logged in to Microsoft 365, or Azure in this case. Now, let's do the same and log into an Apple resource with the same account. appleid.apple.com. Click sign in. Enter the account. Now let's see if I can remember the password I just set. Acknowledge the MFA. Click yes. This managed Apple ID needs to be set up from a device. Sign in to an iPhone, iPad, or a Mac to finish setting it up. For some reason, that seems different. So let's do that. Let's jump on a Mac and finish setting it up. Okay, now we're here on a Mac OS device. And let's first go to settings. And let's log in with the federated account. MFA. Select yes. And then click continue. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Let's try that again. Well, let's put my password in here. It's giving me a bit of a problem here. So let's go ahead and shut that down and try again. Whoa, it won't even let me acknowledge the field here, though. And that's because I'm clicking in the wrong spot. All right, let's try that again. Continue. Click continue. MFA once more. Let's say yes. And there we have it. I have logged in with the federated account on a Mac device. Now let's try to log into Apple ID via browser. I'm gonna use a private browser. Click sign in. Add the federated account. Click continue. Add the password. MFA. Acknowledged. Select yes. And as you can see, I have effectively logged into an Apple resource with a federated Microsoft 365 account. Guess what? And there you have it.